What's up, guys? Gamer Explosion is here, and today I'm gonna try something new for this channel. Not really new, but something to go back to. As you can see right now, I'm in my car, and if y'all remember the previous videos I made, which I don't know if they're in the channel anymore, I might have deleted them or not. They might be still there. I went to a couple retro stores in my town and my dad's town, and I didn't really do much in there. All I did was just look around and picked up a game, and that was really it. There was really nothing to that video, to those videos, and I meant to say. And today I kind of want to go back to that concept, the way of doing that. I'm going to every retro store here in my town, and I'm gonna rate them by the presentation. I might drop the presentation one in or out, but I might leave it in just in case. See how nice it looks in there, and the inventory of how many games are there, if they have good ones, and based on the employees there, customer service. Yeah. I'm wanting to try this for like a few weeks now. I've been thinking about this, and I've gotten prepared enough. And I might pick up some games at these stores. Now, if in full context, I'm not gonna give away my location, but I'm in the far west side of Texas, and there's several game stores here in town. And it's gonna be a long day, so I'm very excited to do this. This has been on my mind for the longest time, like I said. So yeah, let's get to it. So I decided to go to Dillard's Midland Park Mall to go find a GameStop inside there. I know GameStop's not considerably a retro store, but I decided to put it in this video anyway just because of it. And I just walked inside and I immediately found a GameStop on the other end of the store. And I was about to go inside until I ran into a big issue. Okay, so I went to the GameStop here in the mall, and unfortunately I could not get any footage for y'all. And they said they don't want me to talk about their store for some reason, because they want to be advertised, like a sponsored advertisement, which I don't think should even be possible. So I'm not going to talk about their store right now, but to be honest, it's a GameStop. Y'all know what it looks like, so we're gonna work. So yeah, marking that down off the list, and we're gonna go to our second store. Hope y'all are ready. So the second store I went to was called Zuna Vintage Toys and Games, and when I first walked in, I felt like I was in an 80s store. Well, not really. Not only was there games and stuff, but there was also toys that were all over the wall. The place was pretty small, but it was jam-packed with a whole bunch of games and toys as well. And behind the glass, they had pretty good stuff, like Mario Bros. 3 and The Legend of Zelda. And I went to the front and immediately saw the game that I really wanted on the glass, which was Sonic Advance 3, which I very got excited for. Alright, that was our second store, Zuma, and I did pick up a game, which is Sonic Advance 3, and the dude was pretty cool there. He let me record the store, and so how this video will go is that I'm going to rate this at like 10 stars. Just imagine like Super Mario stars, if I can actually have that ability to do that. So presentation, I like how it looked. Like it's not only just a video game store; it's also a toy store. And I don't know, that kind of hit something in my heart. I don't know how that did that, but it feels like an old school, like an 80s kind of store. Like he had a CRT TV left on, had an NBA Jam for the Sega Genesis, and the inventory, there's plenty of stuff. Oh yeah, presentation, I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna give it that. It was very cool. It was mostly toys in there, and there was a whole bunch of games in there. And inventory, there was quite a good selection of games. Mostly I saw was 360, Xbox One, and there was the other wall had some PS2s, some DS games, and a few others. But he had some games behind the glass where it was Nintendo cartridges, Super Nintendo cartridges, a couple GameCube games, and some GBA games, which is where I got Sonic Advance 3 for $25. I saw Luigi's Mansion there, and nowadays online I've seen that game is like $115, and he had it on sale for just $65.99. I think that is a great deal. So yeah, if he ends up watching this video, dude, I love your store. Even though you're just an employee there for a few months, I'm gonna give that store a 9 out of 10. A 9.5 out of 10. That was awesome. So the third store I went to was called Entertainmart, and I'm going to tell you this one. I got lucky with recording in this store. The staff employee went to go get the manager, see if they get approval of recording inside, and the manager told me that it was fine just as long as I don't like do interviews with people or like record people's faces, which I agreed to. And I would say I got lucky with that one. But they do have some retro stores here. They also mainly sell like newer games as well, which is kind of like the main point. And it's not just games they sell; they also sell books, comic books, music CDs, toys, and DVDs, which you can also rent, which is pretty cool. And I would say the selection here of games are very lacking. There's not a lot of games in there. I mean, obviously they have like some of them have stacks, but mostly when it comes to like PS2 and 360, they're just the same copy of the game. Like there's no variety. But I would say my favorite part of this whole store is definitely the glass door with swords in it. I don't know why, I freaking love the swords inside. I thought they looked freaking cool. And maybe one day I'll get one. Mostly the Zelda one. So that was store number 3, Entertainmart. And I almost barely got to record this. They were kind of skeptical at first until I told them my true intentions of recording this video, and they were like, "Oh, go ahead. That's completely fine." But I picked up Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. Now I have a fully complete lineup of Smash Bros. Games, and I'm pretty happy about it. Now let's get back to the review of this. Presentation, it's a very nice store. It's not just a retro store, as you can probably saw in somewhat of the video. I didn't really show the whole store because I don't want to waste too much time. But they have games. They have like comic books, regular books as well, games, like I said, and DVDs that you can buy or rent, which is pretty cool. And also the toys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it is a very nice store overall. I'll give the rating of the presentation a 8 out of 10. Honestly, Actually, 9 out of 10. It's a very nice store, and I do like the way it looks. Now, when it comes to inventory, there's, outside of the games, there's a lot of things they have. But other than that, they're honestly pretty lacking in games. Don't get me wrong, they have a bunch of games in the store that y'all saw in the video. That's fine. But most of them are just the same copies of the same game, and that's really it. And when it comes to like the big names, there's not really a lot of it. And the pricing is subjective. When it comes to like PS2, PS3, like PS2 up to PS3, Xbox One up to 360, they're all like $10 or $20. That's good. That's perfectly fine. Nintendo Wii, they're 20. They're 20 sometimes, and sometimes they're up to 50, which that's also fine too, because big names like Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Bros. And other titles that they have, that makes sense. I get why they do that. Now, when it comes to GameCube games, they don't have a lot in stock. But when they do, they still have their copy of Pikmin 2 that no one has bought over like several months now. And there's a reason for that. Because that game, Pikmin 2 for GameCube, is $99. So you're paying $100 just to play that game. And I bought Mario Kart Double Dash here one time, and I paid like $110 for that. So it was incredibly expensive. It's incredibly expensive if you're looking for big games. So just for the inventory stuff, that's kind of like a 6 out of 10. They have good stuff there if you're looking for them. But other than that, if they don't have the game you're looking for, then tough luck. Because they don't usually have that in stock sometimes. And when they do, it would either be incredibly expensive or it could be cheap. There'd be a good one. So yeah, the people there are nice. I've known them for a long time now. They may not know me because they don't really care, but I understand that because I work at a job too. So this overall place, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good store. The games are lacking, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Now time to go to our fourth store, which is probably the best one. So the fourth store I went to is called Retro Funk, and I'm going to tell you guys, this is by far the best retro store I've ever been to. It is filled to the brim with old games and stuff. They do have newer games like PS5 and Xbox Series X and Switch games, but it is all primarily retro stuff, and I gotta say, it is the coolest place I've ever been to. You can't see it in the video, but there is a booth on the other end, and it has 2 CRT TVs, and you can just go up there and play it whenever you want, except you have to pay for it, obviously. And a whole wall of Funko Pops here, which I don't care about. And my favorite part about it is that they have 2 freaking arcade cabinets that you can just go up and play. And I really like this place. It feels like more like a museum than anything. And I don't know why I'm geeking out about this a lot more than the other. Yeah, this is by far my favorite store I've ever been to, and I definitely recommend it to y'all to check this place out. And that was store number 4. I picked up Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii because my old copy broke a long time ago. So yeah, I got another one for $20. And now let's get to the review part of this. Presentation. I love how the store looks. Like the whole place gives off a whole like 90s era. Like, he even has CRT. I don't know if y'all could see in the video, or I didn't really record it, but there are like CRT TVs plugged in on the other wall for people to play on. And what I did record is those arcade cabinets, the Neo Geo arcade cabinets, and those were just straight up awesome. I freaking love that. And yeah, the inventory, they have pretty good stuff there. They have Funko Pops and toy stuff there, but it is mainly video games, and not just video games. It's retro games, like old stuff. They had Nintendo Switch games there, but there are mainly retro stuff, which I really like. And they have pretty good stuff there, and they sell stuff for a reasonable price. Like this Mario Galaxy, I got it for 20 bucks. And they had a Game Boy Color there, and in the glass that y'all saw, and other stuff. The Game Boy Color was 99 bucks, which, and I've been to the store several times. This guy who works there and is the owner of this store, it's a family-owned business, just to let y'all know. He tells me that he mods these Game Boys to have a backlight. Like, I got a Game Boy Advance there the third time I came by, and it had a backlight, and it was awesome. I loved it. I love it. I still have it. And yeah, and the dude is a very awesome guy. He's a father of two. He has a wife, and yeah, he's generally a very nice guy. And if he ends up watching this video, dude, I love your store. You have a great store. You have good games there, and I really like you. So yeah, I'm giving that store a 10 out of 10. Like, that place is awesome. Now it's time to go to our fifth store, which is out in the other town. So this is gonna be a long drive.
So the fifth store I went to is called Patriot Games, and I was very surprised that the owner of the store is actually a retired veteran who was in the U.S. Air Force. And I thought that was pretty cool, and he was a very nice guy. And I would say selection of games, when it comes to old games like Super Nintendo and Nintendo games and 64, he has a whole lot of games for those consoles. PS2 up to Xbox 360 wise, there's not a whole lot, but I would say the selection he had in the shelves are pretty good. And I gotta say, the guy was very nice to me. He was talking to me the whole time when he was in the store, when I was looking at these videos, and I definitely had a good conversation with him.
So that was store number 5, and I was kind of skeptical at the first time because when I looked at Google Maps, there wasn't a lot of pictures outside outside the building, which it says Patriot Games. But when I came inside, it was actually pretty cool. It was like a wide open space, and they have pretty cool stuff there. Presentation, they have like a whole wall full of old games behind like a glass door, except for going down from 360 all the way to the Wii. And turns out the guy who owns the store is a retired U.S. veteran, and he has a store open for 15 years. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he was a very nice guy. He gave me permission to record inside the store, and he asked for my YouTube channel, and I give him the information. So yeah, they have pretty good games there. I picked up The Legend of Zelda for the original Nintendo, and that was it. To that guy as well, if you end up watching this video, I like your store. That was the first time I ever came in. I like your store. You have a good selection of games. You're a very nice guy, from what I gathered. And yeah, I give that store and also a 10 out of 10. That was pretty good.
So the sixth and final store that I went to was called Retro Hall, and when I went inside, it was jam-packed with a whole bunch of toys, Funko Pops, collectible gaming stuff, and video games. And it's not just the video games we have here in the US, they also have video games from Japan and Europe, which I thought was pretty cool. And I didn't film the other side of the store, but there was a booth where celebrities will come and sit down, and when people come in, they can like take autographs with these celebrities and take pictures with them. I didn't see anyone that was there that I knew, so I just kept out on that one.
Alright, that was the final store of the day. I ended up getting Namco Museum 50th anniversary. This is like not the most special one, but it was the best I can do. But yeah, the presentation, crowded. Like, they have a whole bunch of games on the walls, Funko Pops, comics, collectors like guides and stuff. Cool stuff, I'll mention that. And also there's I didn't record it because I don't want to film anybody there. No, I don't want to disrupt their like identity or privacy and stuff. There's a booth of celebrities there. Not the celebrities that I know personally, but they say like every once a week that those booths will have celebrities with the celebrities who voice act in games, and I thought that was pretty cool. And the inventory, they have a whole bunch of games, as you saw in the video. Like, there was a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of Funko Pops too. And there was two games actually that caught my interest, or caught my eye. Was Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. I wanted to pick that up after looking around, and I saw Metroid Zero Mission on there for the Game Boy Advance as well. And this is where the interesting part is. For the games they have on the shelf, they're like 10 to 15 bucks. That is not terrible. I paid 10 for this one. But the games behind the glass that I saw, Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance was like $150. Like, they just straight up took the games that I guess they saw online and like, yeah, we'll make it that price. But that's not the worst part. Like Metroid Zero Mission, that game is $700. So when it comes to the stock, like the inventory, good stuff there. But when it comes to the pricing of it all, depending on where it is, if it's on the shelf, it's 10 to 15 bucks. If it's in the glass like counter, they're like $150 up to $700. But the guys there working there, they were nice. We had a little bit of a conversation before leaving, and yeah, other than the price, I would give this place a 7 out of 10. Like, I think that's fair. They have a good stack of games. People there were cool. The presentation was just filled to the brim with stuff, and so apparently celebrities will go there, and I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, it's just the pricing of it all, very subjective and very expensive. So that was all the stores. I gotta get home now. And I'm home. That's it for this video today. That was like probably the most like active day I've had since I've like outside of work. And I really had a lot of fun doing that, actually. Like, a lot of people I met were really cool, except the one in GameStop. We don't talk about that. And yeah, that was probably it. And this is gonna be the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If y'all did, leave a like down below. And I hope you all subscribe to my channel. And I'll see y'all later. Peace out, people.